All right,
All
we're ready to go.
right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is the 75-day business challenge, and it's all about helping you get noticed and get more clients by the end of this year. And I hope you had a great Halloween. It was October 31st, which means it's now November. We only have 2 more months left until the end of this year. And so we really want to support you, the business owner, in maximizing your year end by giving you tips and strategies to build a steady stream of qualified clients. Does that sound good? Right, by the end of this year, yes. My name is Kim Carpenter, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Lisa Angles, who is over there, or maybe over there, I don't know. In video land, everything gets mixed up. But we are the co-founders of Wake Up and Change the World, where we provide evolutionary marketing and business consulting for small business owners who want to grow their business and also really want to make a difference in the world. So check us out at wakeupandchangetheworld.com. Now, we would love for you to share this blab with your community. You can check out the share buttons on your left-hand side. They now say tell a little bird for Twitter or tell your aunt for Facebook. I guess that's a reference to the fact that all of our family members are on Facebook with us. So make sure that you click those buttons right now and tell your community that you're here so we can all come in and do this together. Now, we're going to be doing these blabs every Monday and Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern time from now until the end of the year. And this is just our give back to you. So we are here to support you in meeting those goals. And if you like what we're doing here, the best way to get all of this free business advice and help with those goals is to subscribe. So Lisa's going to put a link into the chat. You'll see the chat roll going, and it's at bit.ly, so bit.ly/75-day challenge. So if you want to get everything, get notified when this is happening, we've got some freebies for you. We've got our Evolutionary Entrepreneur Manifesto that we're going to be giving you. We're also going to be giving you a sheet that you can use, that you can check off what your goals are for the day and really see how you're doing against that end of year goal. So go ahead and subscribe to that now. You can multitask, it's okay. And we will make sure that you get all the notifications. So we also want you to get the most out of this half an hour. This is going to be half an hour. So please go ahead and comment now in the chat stream like you've seen Steve do, and some other people are checking in. Go ahead and let us know what's your name, because sometimes your real name is not the same as your Twitter handle. So let us know your real name, let us know where you're joining us from, and let us know what do you want to accomplish by the end of 2015 so we can really support you in that goal. Okay, so how this is going to work is it's half an hour long, and we're going to be teaching a little bit from our business expertise for the first 15 minutes, and then we're going to open up the seats, and you can actually come in live in the video stream and chat with us here on Blab. So when you do come in live, we want you to tell us again, what's your name, what kind of business you have, and what do you want to get done by the end of 2015 so that we can support you. All right, so Lisa, why don't you kick us off with our little training bit for today? Sound good?
Yeah, it sounds good. And thanks everybody for coming today. Today's topic is all about engagement etiquette, online engagement etiquette, how you show up online so that people don't think you're a creep, so that people don't think you're that guy or that girl, right? You know what I'm talking about, I think. And really how this topic came up was because we listened last time in our last blab and had someone come into our seat, Marcella, and she was saying, hey, thanks for telling me how what I'm supposed to do when I'm here online. And then I was like, oh yeah, right. Sometimes people don't know, and it seems obvious. And then Kim and I were working with one of our clients on Friday, and the same topic came up. And she said, well, if you guys hadn't told me that, I never would have known that that's what you're supposed to do. So Kim and I got together and we're like, okay, this is the perfect time for us to talk about online etiquette and how you show up online. So what we're going to do is go over some do's and some don'ts online. in how you show up online. And this gets put into two distinct categories. The two categories are, number one, when you show up at other people's parties, and number two, when you have your own party. So that's how I'd invite you to think of what we're talking about today in terms of how you show up online. So let's look at this first one, which is when you're showing up at someone else's party, which is what you guys are doing right now, is you're coming into this blab that Kim and I are hosting. So essentially, if we use that metaphor of a party, we're having this party and we've invited you into the party and you're our guests with the party. Now, what is good etiquette when you show up at someone else's party? It might seem really obvious, but in the online world, somehow what seems obvious gets thrown out the door and people completely forget their manners. And so let's first look at what you should be doing when you're showing up at someone else's party. First of all, you want to be making meaningful comments that are related to the topic. So today, for instance, our topic is online etiquette, right? So when you're making comments, we're hoping that you're making comments that are related to our topic and not talking about your dog or maybe your Halloween costume or what you're going to buy for Christmas presents. You get the idea, but we see this happening a lot of times in comment threads that completely distract and pull away from what's going on in the important topic at hand. The other thing is, in these types of conversations, when it's an online video, live stream video, really good etiquette is when you jump into the seat or into the film strip, which would happen in Google Hangouts and Blab. It's when you hop into the seat. You want to be clear and succinct and be relevant so that when you're coming in and staying in the conversation, you're not detracting from what the topic is about. And everybody really appreciates that. And it creates a space that feels really held and on point. And people really, really appreciate that. And I'm going to let you take a couple of them because I know that you're looking at them. You have some as well, Kim.
Yeah, for sure. So also, I think that when you're coming in live, especially in live commenting situations, it's really great for you to come and be helpful. You know, come with the attitude that that you're really focusing on the other, perhaps the person who's leading the show, or the person who's organized the live stream situation that you're in. Is how can you be helpful? Think about how can you be helpful, and how can you be gracious too, right? Because when you're helpful and gracious, people want you back. It's just the same as in real life. If you go to a party at your neighbor's house, you're going to come in and you're going to compliment the host and you're going to say, wow, your house is so lovely, or I love how you decorated, or wow, thank you so much for, hosting this party today. You wouldn't come in and start trashing their apartment, right? So you want to be helpful, you want to be gracious, you want to compliment the host or compliment others that are actually showing up and, taking the risk to speak out in a situation like this live in the comment stream. So you could say, hey, I really love that point you made. Or, whoever's, if you're commenting with other people in the stream, making helpful comments. And also mentioning others, mentioning people's names goes really far. And you'll notice that when you start doing these few things, people will start following you. They want to check you out. They want to see what you're doing there. So mentioning others, like, hey, Selena, that was a really great point that you made, and tag Selena and follow Selena. And also reshare, so if you're in there and you're getting a lot out of the conversation, to share what you learned, what you saw, share the blab or share the hangout or whatever that you're in Facebook and Google Plus and Twitter and other social media channels.
Yeah, and these are natural things that you would do. One of the cool things I'll have to say about Blab that they're doing right now at this point is that when someone hops into the seat, it actually puts their name into the stream. So if you're tweeting, it will say at Kim Carpenter, for instance, that you joined in and you're in the seat. So it's it's like a natural sort of extension of, hey, thanks, jumping in. And maybe myself or someone else who's in the comments would click the reshare and just sort of give props to that person that they've shown up. So that's a little bit of the social sharing. We also want to look at what not to do when you go to someone else's party. And this is what we see happening so often. And I think what irritates people a lot about social media and what turns people off about using social media platforms. The first one is link dumping, and link dumping with your promotional links. So for instance, coming into someone else's show, or if you're posting on someone else or commenting on someone's post in Google Plus or Facebook or LinkedIn, if it's all about you and you're just posting, hey, check out my new program here, and you put a link to your program, it's like you're coming into someone else's party and you're trying to get people to go to your party next door and pull them away. It's not very good manners to do, but we see it happening all the time, right, Kim?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I think that people overlook normal social etiquette whenever they're in online situations. Sometimes, it definitely happens. And it's definitely a big turnoff. I think it's a turnoff for other people who are watching and paying attention, and it's a turnoff for the people that are hosting. And it doesn't really make people want to follow you or show up at your party when you're not respectful of their party. So
right, absolutely. And the other thing that's not very good to do in terms of social etiquette is to make distracting comments or comments that are completely unrelated. And again, these things sound completely obvious, but I can't tell you how many times I've been to someone else's live event or to their blab or their hangout or whatever they might be doing, and seeing someone continually making irrelevant comments or comments that are distracting and pulling away. And again, it doesn't do anything for you to build your business and to get noticed and get clients. It sounds obvious. But these are things, and I believe that when we hold to this code of conduct and hold each other accountable to it, it makes everything so much better and makes it feel like a safe space for us to have conversations, because that's really what we're coming back to, is that to create connections with people means that we need to be in conversation. When we can have these sort of ground rules for how to have conversations, it just makes it really easy, I think.
Yeah, that's great, Lisa. So we have a couple of new people popping in. Just want to say hello and let you know that this is the 75-day challenge. It's all about helping you get noticed and get more clients by the end of the year. And so today we're talking all about, what is the etiquette for showing up at things like this? Because we found that this is one of the strongest ways to get noticed and get new clients is to host a blab show, a Google Hangout show, connect with people on live stream. But, there are some things that you want to make sure that you do and don't do when you do that. So I just wanted to give you that recap and also let you know that we're going to be sending out an email with a synopsis of everything that we're sharing with you today. So the way that you get that is you subscribe at bit.ly/75-day challenge. And I've put the post over in the chat stream for you.
Perfect. Wonderful. So I'm going to quickly run through because we do want to get you guys in the seat. And we're actually really curious to hear your thoughts on etiquette. If you have anything to add to this, let us know in the comments, because this is a discussion. So it's not just about what we're saying here. We're interested in what you have to say as well. I'm going to hop on to that second category, which is, okay, we just talked about how do you show up? What is the etiquette when you're showing up to someone else's party? But now let's look at, what about when you're the host of the party? What is the etiquette there? How should you be showing up? And I know over the last couple of years since I've been in the world of the live streaming video and shows and all of that type of stuff, I've definitely seen some questionable hosts in what they do. let's look first at how you do want to show up to your party. These are sort of just some basics, like you want to have a basic format for your party, a theme for it, and you want to stay on topic. I think staying on topic is a form of etiquette that makes people feel like relevant. Why am I even here? Why am I at this party? Why is it relevant to me? So when as a host, you stay on topic, that's really, really great. And acknowledging the guests and the viewers. Of course, when someone comes to your house and you have a party, you say, hey, Kim, like, it's great that you're here. You acknowledge them, that they've come to your party. In the same way, we acknowledge people who are showing up at your party, whether it's like this at a blab or on your blog posts or your posts in Facebook or LinkedIn. Kim, I'm going to let you take a couple as well.
Yeah, and I just wanted to let you all know, when we say party, like, this is our party, you're at our party right now. So your party is your blab show, it could be your blog post, your whatever it is that you're doing. So what you really want to make sure that you're doing is, in addition to having a format and staying on topic, is really acknowledging and mentioning the guests or the viewers. So for example, now I can say, hey, Jordan has joined us, Natalie has joined us, Muslim 753157, I don't know your real name, but welcome. I think that might be Ahmed, and Ose Yusuf. So welcome. So that's something that you can do when you're having your parties, is just acknowledge the people that are coming in. Because this type of format, people are coming in and out all of the time. It's very dynamic. So you want to make sure that you're staying up to date with that.
Yeah.
Lisa, did you want to take the next one?
Yeah. So I'm looking at, right.
Ask questions.
Asking questions. Yeah. Okay, asking questions is huge because in this type of format, especially in the live stream video, we're talking about conversations here. And like, when a conversation is one way, it's not very interesting. So it's really great to ask questions, be interested. What do other people have to say? What do your guests have to say? So the asking questions is really critical and makes people feel like they're being seen and being heard. And that's such a huge piece of the engagement factor in engaging people in the topic that you're talking about. I'm going to let you take the next one, Kim.
Awesome. Yeah. So you want to make sure you're also responding to relevant comments. So if people are commenting in the chat, that you're talking to the camera, like I'm talking to the camera right now, I'm talking to you, but I'm also looking at the chat to see what comments are being made and how can I fill those in to the whole conversation. And another one is, you want to make sure that you're promoting the other guests or the viewers. You're lifting people up. So because this is an interactive platform, it's not just your show, right? Like that is appropriate for other venues where you're speaking, or maybe you're just making a promotional video that you're then blasting out. But in something like this, like, you have a chance to talk to others. So make sure that you're promoting the people that are in the chat and promoting the guests and the viewers that are coming on, and that you're thanking them, that you're really having so much gratitude for people showing up at your party, just like you would if they came to a party at your house. Thanks for coming. It was so great to see you.
Yeah, and being respectful of the time. I've been, especially in this type of setting, I've been in a lot where they just go on and on. In fact, I just saw a post from one of our friends over in Google Plus, Lainey Sullivan, and her post was, if nobody is watching your 1 hour video, and she was saying, like, in terms of hangouts or blabs, she's like, then don't have a 1 hour blab or a 1 hour hangout. The truth is that we're all busy. We all have a lot of things going on. So we want to be respectful of time. If you say that you're going to have a 20-minute show or a 30-minute show, do your best to hold to that time and not extend over, because people are showing up. They're taking time out of their day to come see what's going on and to be a part of it. There's a lot of different ideas about timing, but I think that shorter is better. If you can be clear and succinct and have a great little conversation, it's like power chat. Like we were just at the water cooler and had a really good little conversation really quick. And okay, I'm back off to my work. Because the truth is, most of us are pretty busy during our days.
Right. Yeah. So I just wanted to give that little note again that we're giving you all of these tips so that you can really integrate this into the work that you're doing between now and the end of the year to get noticed, to get more clients. So showing up at other people's parties and hosting your own parties, blabs, conversations online is a really great way to do that. If you're, you have courage and do it, it's totally worth it. It totally pays off. And we're going to be sending you these lessons. We promise we'll email them to you within the next day or so. And you just need to subscribe at bit.ly/75-day challenge. That's the number 75-day challenge. bit.ly 75-day challenge. So the last couple of things are, and then we're going to open up the seats and see if anyone wants to be courageous and join us. Maybe you can go ahead and do that now, Lisa. I'm not sure that anyone wants to come in and join us, but we want to invite you to come in and talk with us about what you think about the do's and don'ts of social etiquette in this type of blab or Google Hangout situation is. And a couple of little don'ts that we have to finish off with in our teaching today is really coming on and being overly salesy, so coming into somebody else's blab with your agenda of selling whatever it is that you have for sale is really a don't. It's a blab don't. So you want to come, you want to show up, as I said before, being helpful, being gracious, and really talking about relevant things. So if you're discussing things that are totally irrelevant to the conversation, it would just be as awkward to do that in a live situation. So really think about, when you're in a live situation, what would you do? Would two people be talking about something and then you'd come in with a totally different topic? No, you'd want to add something to that conversation. And then another thing that's not really great to do is to come in live and then be like totally distracted. You're doing other stuff. You're typing emails. You're talking on the phone. You're sending text messages, right? You want to come in and be engaged. And how you show up in these places really does matter. I mean, this is the time of total transparency. People are seeing you. People are noticing you. There's not really many places to hide when you come out and say, okay, I'm going to get on a live video chat and I'm going to teach something or have a show. And it is, so I think following those simple rules of etiquette will really help you to shine and have people following you and wanting to know you and wanting to connect with you, whatever your business or your goals are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did open the seat in case anybody wants to hop in, like Kim said, and be courageous. And maybe if you want to hop in and tell us, hey, what is your engagement tip or what have you seen going on out there? Or you can type it into the comments as well. We'd love to know. This whole world of online engagement and what we might call digital intimacy, where we can have true, relevant relationships and connections online is totally new to us. And for a lot of us, it feels strange and we're still trying to navigate that territory. And I think that in the beginning, people really used social media and blogs and posts to promote themselves a lot. And while this is what we're doing here in this for our businesses is promoting ourselves, there's a way of promoting and being in the space that can feel really much more comfortable, like a natural conversation and a normal relationship where there isn't like this big agenda, as Kim was saying, of, I'm going to sell my thing. But rather we're going to come and be available and have a conversation. And that's really what Kim and I promote in this world of the online digital space, especially as we're moving towards the end of the year. We're looking at want to get noticed, get clients. How do we show up online? So how you show up, as Kim said, can make or break you in the online world. And some people have burned some bridges, unfortunately, in that realm.
Yeah. So we just want to invite you again in our last 4 minutes here. We're just opening up the seat. If you'd like to come in and tell us who you are, where you're calling from, what your business goals are that you want to achieve by the end of the year, if there's any way that we can support you in that, or if you want to come in and share your thoughts about social etiquette in this social media world, we're happy to have you come on in.
I see that the official Dave Moore has joined us. Hey, Dave, if you want to hop in, I know you have some really great tips on online etiquette, so we'd love to have you hop in if you want to. I also know, see Lemongrass Spa. Oh, here we go. Tim Gillette's going to hop in. Hey, Tim. Get him to hop on here. In a minute, we'll see your...
What you do in the afternoon?
Hey there, Tim.
How are you, girls?
Good. How are you?
Great topic about. I'm doing good, and great topic about people being etiquette and kind. So I want to stick to the topic to have proper etiquette.
Thank you.
Plus distracting from my chocolate eating. Anyway, yeah, I host a nightly one, and when you get onto these things on a regular basis, you get to watch the people who are just hopping from one to one, trying to promote a product. And I made the joke in there. Oh, so you've met the guy who comes in to give us 5 points. And there's not one, there's a lot of them. This is your show, you know what I mean? And we've got to learn to have etiquette for each other's shows. I wouldn't come into your house, either one of your houses, and take over the kitchen, would I?
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Same thing, guys. When you're on here, this is their kitchen. They're making the recipe for you guys out there, and we need to follow what it is. That's what we're supposed to do when we come into a lab. Yeah, I've got an agenda. We all have an agenda about our businesses. We all do, and that's where, hey Ken, that's where you should be out there. First of all, you shouldn't be in labs that don't fit you. You know what I mean? If you're talking about the TV series, I don't even know. Let's say Big Bang Theory. You don't need to be in one you don't need to be in somebody's blab on how to have a better life. You need to be in the comedy section. You know what I mean? You know, that should be the first etiquette. Is search for blabs that have the same keywords as you before you go jumping on board.
That's a wonderful. Oh, I got a little bit of an echo on your end. Tim, can you maybe mute yourself while I talk?
Hold on, let me chuck my volume way down. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. I love that. I think that's so good. I love that that tip of finding. It can go for a blab, a hangout, whatever. It can also go for posts as well, or Facebook community groups. Go to the ones that are relevant to your topic. That sounds really, again, like duh, but we don't see that all the time. I know Dave is here as well.
But some of them, though, girls, when they started out in their businesses, I mean, think about when we all started our businesses. We wanted to get that first client. You know what I mean? We become desperate and we don't realize that maybe just plug into somebody who has something in our realm rather than just trying to go out there and force to find that one client. Learn the steps along the way. And the steps is come in here, make friends.
Absolutely. That's how Dave and I met.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dave. It's great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. How are you?
Wonderful. Right. And thanks for hopping in. We'd love to hear your perspective on this topic as well.
Well, on the etiquette side of it, you know, the community that I run, I decided to run it in a way where it had a minimum amount of rules and regulations, but just making it clear that if anybody needed to know what they can't post, they shouldn't be in charge of a computer anyway. You know, so when you lay a ground rule like that, people tend not to put their head above the parapet and write something either abusive or stupid. The only issue that I have is that I have a duty of care to the people on the community that I can get people onto the community where they're going to learn something from them, and the people I bring into the community are going to learn something from the people on the community already. And so I do a lot of due diligence with people when they apply to be on it, because I look at their profile and I look at their website and I look at their Facebook and their Twitter to see whether or not it's aligned. And if it isn't, I don't allow them in. And I send them an email saying, look, the reason I'm not letting you in is because, and then 9 times out of 10, I get a verbal abuse of a volley of insults, which just compounds the decision not to let them in. The thing with a lot of it is the explaining of something. I think if it doesn't make sense to your grandmother, if she couldn't make sense of what you're writing, you've pitched it too high. You've made it too technical, too difficult to understand. Plus, if you wouldn't say it to your grandmother, don't write it. And that's always been a good one for me.
Absolutely. I think that's Kim, you looked like you were going to say something. Sorry. Okay. No, I love what Dave has done with his community. Just to let all you guys know, he has a community in Google+. It's a really wonderful community. And when I found out about it through another mutual friend of ours, which, by the way, all of the friendships I've made are exactly as Tim was talking about. This is all about creating friendships first, and creating these connections have just been simply through other people that I met. And Dave, when I found out that you had this community and the way you were doing it was really impressive, because what happened then, or what has happened with the community that Dave has, is it's become really high quality content that's on there. So you can always go there and there's going to be something really good here. And people are doing the thing of promoting, which was one of the other etiquette things that Kim and I talked about. So Dave knows who I am. So he'll go and promote without me asking to have to promote. He doesn't I don't go in there and link dump. He just voluntarily promotes me. And I find that happens. And Tim, I don't know if you've seen this as well in your experience online, but when you create these authentic relationships, people will voluntarily promote you. And because they want to, because you're their friend, because you're their confidant now. Like, it doesn't take this like having to finagle and push your way in. So
there was one other thing that I was going to say was the amount of people on them sometimes. I've got a fantastic amount of people on there out of choice. If I get 3 or 4 people who I think are working in the same area, have the same sort of timeline that the other people have who are members of the community, there's going to be some exchange. But when people want to belong to something just through the medium of belonging to something, it's quite easy to find when you look that their entire timeline is in a completely foreign language and people would have to translate everything. There's photographs of them with big fish, or on motorbikes, or with a drink in a bar, or the last 55 meals that they've had. You think, is this going to bring anything to the community? So I don't go for the big numbers. I know there are communities that have got thousands and thousands and thousands of people on them. But we know as when we're on Twitter, we've got followers, and sometimes I see that somebody's unfollowed me. And what the sad part of it is if I look at who it is, I think, who the hell is that? Because they've never interacted with me, and I don't see the benefit of following somebody or having them follow you if you're not going to connect. And it's always been the assumption or the belief that we are dots on the planet, and when you connect all the dots, you see the bigger picture. So when we're all connected with each other and we connect other people to other people, that's when this really does work. The beauty of this medium is that there is no holding back. If you've got an issue or a problem, you can ask somebody and they'll freely give you the information as to how to be better at this. And it's a unique setup. I don't know of any other industry that does that. I don't know of one telephone company telling their competition how you set a telephone system up. It wouldn't happen. Yet here, there is no fear. There is a freedom in an exchange, and I think that's something that we should nurture, but correctly.
Absolutely, Dave. I couldn't agree more. And I think that, there's so many gurus out there telling people that you need to have a big list, a really big list, really big following, they're just collecting people. But Lisa and I say list relationships rule out over list size any day. Having real relationships with people, and that's really what we want to come on and talk about and kind of bust this myth about you have to have a list, an email list of 100,000. Well, if nobody's reading it, if nobody's opening, if nobody cares, then it doesn't matter. Right?
It's just like in sales, having a list of 500 potential clients. Well, they're not clients, and unfortunately, a lot of companies tell us, because I was a sales trainer for many years, I was a national sales trainer for Telewest or Comcast over here. And a lot of companies, when I went solo as a consultant, spend so much time telling the salespeople to find new customers without looking after the customers that they've already got. And the customers that they've already got have already bought something. So sell them something else instead of going and looking for new people. So if you can keep in the connection with the people that you've got already, other people will come. But the best referral you can get is somebody without a vested interest, just saying, you should join this community or you should follow this person without you doing it yourself. All this, can I have a retweet? Can I have a hello? Can you follow me back? Well, I don't follow back. I follow back, but I follow back not immediately. They think you're going to follow somebody back immediately. No, to hell with that. I'm going to look at them and see what they're all about, because I could be following a mad person here. And you align yourself with this and it sticks. And you've got to be very careful. And you see people follow, and then within 24 hours, they unfollow. And it's purely because they hope that you follow back blindly, and then they can unfollow you without you noticing. No.
Yeah, and we got a comment here that says exactly, at Dave Moore, absolutely, Dave, 50,000 Twitter followers may meaningless if you are not is meaningless if you're not interacting with them. I mean, who can interact with 50,000 of their followers? Well,
yeah. I mean, by you interact with the first one, by the time you get to the 50,000 one, you've changed your mind. So you thought it was something else. But thanks, Fred, because Fred is actually a great guy to follow. He's a very clever, very intelligent guy, and fun as well. So, look, I'll drop out and let somebody else. Let somebody else come in, yeah?
Right. Beautiful. Okay. Thanks, Dave.
Tim, it's nice to meet you, Tim.
Nice to meet you. Before. Yeah.
I've been watching Tim on a few of these. It's with Cynthia Basing and Cherie Valentine. So Tim's a great guy. I'm following him as well. So
sweet.
It's good to meet you finally. All right. Take care.
Very cool. Thank you, Dave.
I'll speak to you all soon.
All right. Bye. Thanks, Dave. Oh,
bye,
right.
Tim.
Bye, Tim. Thank you. So we are pulling towards actually a little bit over our time and breaking our little etiquette of time.
Well, so many of you joined us at the last minutes here, and we wanted to be sure and have a conversation and connect and engage with Dave and Tim. So if you want to get the synopsis of what we shared today around the do's and don'ts of social etiquette in your live stream video sessions like this, Blab, Google Hangout, whatever it is, we'll be emailing those out to you, and I'll just post the link to subscribe if you want to give them the recap for today, Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wait, are you telling me to give the recap of what we just talked about?
No, just the closing.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, am I redoing everything right now? All right. So really quick, you guys, we're meeting every Monday and every Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. This is the 75-day business challenge, Get Noticed and Get Clients, where Kim and I just come on for a half hour to give you some tips, marketing and business advice, and mostly to have conversations with you guys. So please join us. Our next one will be on Thursday, obviously, because I just said that, at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be doing these all the way through the end of the year to help you make those year-end goals. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. It was awesome to see you all start to come in here. And thanks to Tim and Dave for hopping in. Make sure you guys all follow each other. Let's build our community here. And we're down and out for today. We'll see you all on Thursday. Bye for now.